Go to your... Or I can go and drink them at the least. Ah, well, there they are.
There you go.
I appreciate it. Ah, that does look wonderful.
There we go. Alright. Greetings.
Hi.
Come, take a seat.
Okay.
Don't let the tea get cold now.
Okay.
Put you here. There we go. Alright. We didn't have any sort of little snacks, so it's kind of just tea, but, you know.
That's fine.
Oh well, whatever. Here. What's this?
Does it actually not pour?
No, it does. It just doesn't. Shh. It's just a slight problem. Okay. Now then. I figured we'd go here because you seem to be rather fond of Azzy, and well, he won't really like it too much that we're in here messing with this stuff. But what is he gonna do? Yell at me? Come on now. But yeah,
That's very
he's
sweet.
collected a lot over the years, and he's done a lot of work.
I'm glad that
Anyway.
he isn't destroyed, because I know he seemed pretty despondent when we were going through the afterlife.
He specifically made this place to exist outside of the main, I guess, universe. He had a somewhat understanding of what was going on. But when he came to the afterlife, he was a little confused, but he understood after a little while. Pieced it together.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I was...
Now then.
Just... He seemed to have been just... figuring out what was going on, really.
I don't know how to work that thing. I don't drink too much. I'm more of a... I don't know, I just drink water half the time, but whatever. Or coffee. What kind of coffee? Anyway. Welcome. You've died, unfortunately, but, you know, it happens. Only reason you're really here and haven't passed on yet is because, well, I mean, you knew me as Marcus instead of the devil, so figured I might as well give you a good passing. Plus, you knew Azzy, so there's that.
Yeah, it's all so complicated. I know that I can't really do anything now, but I was hoping to get to know him and at least better, and just, you know, get closer. But
Well, look at that. She was sweet on your apprentice.
stop.
I can tell that. You don't gotta point things out from God. All right.
Old habits.
This is very strange.
Anyway, yeah, unlike all the other religious content that a lot of humans have, the devil and God ain't enemies. Well, not most of the time.
No, the opposite. We serve as a balancing act, as we always have. There have been iterations where both sides have been more adversarial, but
Like
for the most
Lord.
part, it's... Exactly.
Yeah.
Think of it as like a rival
So to
football
speak.
team.
Anyway, what do you want to talk about? We got lots of time.
Lots of time, yeah. Vex was not happy when I said that I didn't want to go peacefully. He was threatening how if I tried to do what I wanted to do, I'd destroy myself, and I don't know what's gonna happen, and I don't know. But
Well, what did you want to do?
I wanted to become a demon, maybe, or at least help out in some way. Maybe work for
I
you.
see.
But I know I won't be
Well,
able to...
unfortunately, that came, and you did kind of become a demon, sorta.
Kinda.
But that was the only time I could have done anything.
Thank you again
So,
for...
sorry about that.
Thank you again for doing my mom a favor and helping me.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Mhm.
the reason Vex was so hostile towards you is, well, he's taken on a lot of extra responsibility that he's not used to taking.
I get that.
Yeah.
But much like my predecessor did me, I shall do to them. That'd be fine. He'll understand it in a few thousand years' time.
Mhm.
Seems like a lot to
Eventually.
the mortal mind, but to us, that's like an afternoon.
Damn. Like this?
Yes.
Pretty much. I mean, this is kind of what we do most of the time, is just lounge around, let the universe run itself. We like free will, so we don't like governing everything. But
That's
when we have
fair.
to step in, we do. We do. And sometimes I have my own agenda. I got the demons, so I like to give them a nice place to live.
That's commendable.
The angels are more like tools. They operate under my rule. But I suppose if Vex wanted to, he could give the angels free will like your demon.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
I just like the way they entertain me. Honestly, just seeing things live, how the conflicts, the resolutions, it's just beautiful. Honestly, it
To be
looks real
fair, it
nice,
is.
and it's a good ecosystem.
Yeah.
Plus, I kind of wanted to see how two different ecosystems from like different dimensions, I guess, merge and mesh with each other. So it was actually kind of what I expected, but it's a good expectations.
Well, that reminds me. I'm still down there among your friends. Yeah, although be it in a bit of a different way. Yeah, well,
Oh.
I go by the name of Father Delamar, and essentially I'm the local preacher of New Haven. Honestly, I was a little influenced with my accent from my friend here.
I was just about to comment on that, actually.
Called it a bit of flattery, old friend. But
Well,
with my
it is
eye,
nice to see that.
Well,
Nice to
with
hear
my-
it, rather.
well, with my current demeanor, I understood I looked a bit more demonic than angelic. No, they're more used to demons down there anyway, so I just donned me a little cross, took over that destroyed church, and I handled burial ground. So, your friend Sparks,
Mm-hmm.
he misses you terribly.
I miss him.
There's no doubt about that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they just...
I could have given you a bit more of a nicer burial if I had supplies, but that town they're in, there ain't much. But it's a bit of a humble gravesite, but it is a nice one. I wasn't sure what flowers you like, so I did the classic roses.
Oh, those are my favorite.
Well, what do you know?
Well, would you look at that? Worked out
I
fine.
still got it.
I mean... but
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I like roses. They're nice. They're very pretty.
Cool.
Well, either way, I'm glad that it handled itself out. So,
what now? If I can't be a demon,
yes.
where can I go? What can I do? Because I don't think that I should, just sit with my family. As much as I love them, I feel like I
Well,
do something.
you'll pass on to the to where everyone else goes, really.
Okay.
well, timelines merge eventually,
Ain't
and
really much else.
I want you to imagine this.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe, but all life conjoins into one place. Either through hell or for heaven, it all eventually ends up in the same place. That I called it, well, my predecessor always called it the Twilight Woods. I call it the Slumbering Town. Vex tends to call it the Concave. Regardless, what it is it's a town that is infinite in any direction. You go exactly where you intend to go. Or you can just wander it endlessly for eons. There's a combination of different times, people, places, things that have ever been. And between you and me, if you go far enough out, it's whatever will be.
Pretty
Time
much, if
doesn't-
you're a historian, you're gonna love this place.
Actually, I actually go there quite a few times. Just to have a little refresher from time to time.
I mean,
Or, well, if you really want to know the wild part, it's actually where our kind tend to retire when everything's said and done.
really?
Yeah.
Yep.
I call it the end, because that's pretty much what it is. Once everything's done, it's the end. That's where you end up.
The one before him used to call it the meat locker.
I hate
He was a strange one.
Very.
He's an interesting individual, but he means well.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly. He did take the adversarial part a little more serious than, well, it's a long story.
So, you're retired. Are you going to anytime soon? Or
Not quite yet.
not quite yet?
Believe
But
it or not,
I will give you 3 guesses as to who's replacing me. I'm assuming
Really?
you're gonna get it on the first one, but
Has he?
yeah, that's what I figured. So it actually ain't. No, I mean, I'm kidding. It is. It is. You don't know it yet, though, so it's real funny.
that's
'cause he's
really
gonna have
funny.
to figure that out.
I wish I could have told him some things.
Well, I'm sure. He is becoming me, pretty much, so you'll have access to the end. Might be able to see him there. Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I don't know.
well, my door is always open, Atrus, so if you ever wish to come speak to the former, you can always come talk to me.
So,
I like company.
yeah, that sounds really nice, actually. This is really nice.
Well, I'm glad
Also-
you're having fun. Just bring you some comfort in the last. Well, I don't really know. I mean, we're not really. No one's alive here in this place. It's kind of outside of stuff, so I can't really say
Yeah.
last moment alive.
I like to call these celestial planes, or tears. Essentially, these little pocket spaces, if you go out that window, there's nothing past that window. It's almost like we're sitting in, think of like a submarine in the ocean. No matter where you go, there's nothing. Although, for people like me and him, or Vex or Azzy, if they were to step outside, well, they would just simply go to where they intend to go.
That's crazy.
But for a normal soul,
Yeah.
it would crush you under the spiritual pressure.
So I have to stay in.
For now, but
Yeah, pretty much.
once we're done with this conversation, you'll be immediately transported, well, to the sleepy town.
To sleep.
And once you're there,
The sleepy town, yeah.
well,
Will I
once
be able
you're
to
there, the pier, Well?
Maybe not here. I don't know. That's up to... Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. What is it that you would like to learn in the afterlife? Or do in the afterlife?
I kind of want to help with this, maybe, or but I just wanted to work, really. That's all I really want to do.
Well, the Divine do have workers that work under us. For some, it's angels of order, angels of death, demons of war, demons of music. Believe it or not, there are no angels of music, it's all demons. A lot of people don't know that. Believe it or not, when I started, I was just a mere demon myself.
Really?
Yes. A former and a successor are normally, well, the former, being me or our friend here, we tend to be, they can be anywhere from a human, an angel, a demon, an eldritch. Doesn't matter.
So even
Two.
if you can?
Indeed. That's what Vex was.
No, we haven't had a robot yet, so we'll see if that changes.
That would be interesting. I actually once
Very.
thought about... I thought about that once. What would happen if we allowed a robot? An inorganic? Because technically, here's the little secret, little eldritch secret. Everything has a soul. Literally everything.
Figured when I saw sparks in the afterlife, and
That's right. When robots get a higher conscience, they also develop soul.
that makes
Although
sense.
it is a little... Yep. So, while I was a demon, I actually don't remember what you were before everything. It's been so long.
Well, that's a story for another.
He likes to keep his past a little hush-hush, but it's
I know, but
completely fine.
I mean, the first time that we talked, you told me a little bit about your adventures. Then you told me how you got your scar. Although I don't know if you were lying, but that's okay. It was fun stories.
What did I tell you how I got my scar?
It was some kind of beast. You didn't specify what kind, but you killed it with like a gun.
Oh,
Ah,
a
yes,
gun.
that's cat.
That doesn't sound quite right.
I don't know. You, that's what I remember.
Well, it wasn't a gun, but you know, maybe I went with that just to make myself seem more human. Because
I think so.
I probably was Marcus at the time.
So, if you look at my chest, there's a hole.
I can kind of see it.
It's a little covered up, but when I was a demon, I was killed in a battle. There's actually a cannon. Tore right through me.
Oh.
When my superior picked me up from the afterlife, he told me that he's watched me for a long time. Said I would make a fine apprentice. Colorly surprised when a demon of war was the one picked to be the next overseer. But he did. Draped me in garb and gold. And I worked under him for a long time. Not too dissimilar to how I did Vex. Vex was actually an old man who died of, well, lung cancer.
Oh.
When I snatched him up, that was about, 4 or 5 cycles ago?
Something like that, yeah.
That was a while back. But for the majority of the time, souls tend to go to the Sleepy Town. Now, when you get into the Sleepy Town, there can be anything. There are people who spend their whole existence becoming fighters. And I'm not going to lie to you, it is some pretty cool stuff. The best fighters around the
It is
world.
beautiful.
competing in gladiatorial combat. I believe the humans have turned to it to call it Valhalla.
Oh, yeah.
There's an afterlife where there are the great studies and the best minds of the world gathered to share their knowledge and just poke and prod at the endless mystery of the cosmos. And there are some who simply just gather around and talk philosophy and live in the peace of nirvana itself. And there are a lot of depraved people who just kind of sit around and fornicate all day and orgy.
Oh.
There's plenty
You'll
of
have that.
Plenty of that.
There's plenty of that.
We tend to keep them in sections, but we don't limit it too much. So, like, there's a section for everything. If you want to go fornicate, there's a section for that. But you can do it wherever. Just try not to. I guess like
I don't know what you're telling
anyone
me,
else.
Boo, but no.
You know.
No. I don't know.
Well, it's an example. You want to go run around as a gladiator in some place with no laws. There's a place for that.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't try and do it in the place where it's not for that, basically, is what I mean.
That's fair.
What we're saying is don't go stabbing monks or in the nerds when, you know, the war pits over there. So there's one that I particularly enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
There are many gathering spots where basically you go and you can request to meet with a special soul. They look like little coffee houses. Not too dissimilar from this. You sit down at a table, you pull out a card, lay the card down, you tap your fist on the table twice, knock knock, speak the name of the soul you wish to speak with. They get notified, and if they choose, they can come to you. It's actually how many families stay in touch. As a matter of fact, there's a family of about 700 people who tend to have massive gatherings and cookouts all the time.
That's really
It's how they keep in contact with their ancestors. Everyone has their thing. But if you truly do want to continue your existence as a worker or helping us,
I would like that.
Believe it or not, this part is a bit strange even for me. But former devils and former gods tend to have servants. Servants are people who have devoted their life to us, and honestly, frankly, as much as we try to tell them they can live on however they want, they still choose to serve us. It's not a horrible gig, if I'm being honest, but you would be in one of our... You'd basically be living in one of our castles.
Okay.
Where you would either be helping us maintain order, record keeping, the occasional message delivering, or
I'm more than
so
happy
forth.
to do that.
Well, I can already tell you're probably not wanting to work for me. So, it's fine, It's fine, my dear. I take no offense.
It's just I've known Marcus for so much longer, and
I will say,
other
the
reasons.
devils have one very nice perk that us on the overseer side don't. If I talk to a mortal, they have to die.
Oh.
There is no escaping. Devils, on the other hand, are allowed to talk to mortals in, well, even their own realm, with no repercussions. Supposedly, if you give a shit about the old original text, it was to tempt people to do bad things, but it kind of went out. It went out of bullshit. It's bullshit after the first cycle.
Instead of tempting them, I kind of just force them in a corner and be like, "Hey, you're dying. Make a deal with me."
Oh, like what
Go
you
ahead.
did with me.
That's
like what I did
exactly
too.
right.
Yeah.
So you have.
I mean, hey, it ain't the worst. You got your life back, and I got some entertainment.
I was entertaining.
Yeah,
There's
that's
parts.
it, so.
Nice.
That part's hard for a lot of mortal souls to understand, but for us Celestials, that is our entertainment. We watch you all like a play. Your highs, your lows, your ups and downs. passionate throes of those you love most, to even more passionate fights with those you hate.
Mm.
It is what it is. Do you have any questions? We've been giving you a ton of information.
Yeah, this is so much. I guess it's actually something that you had hinted at, and I never got to ask you about it. About the realms and such, like being made, and how both of you had to contributed to that. So I was just more curious about like how it all works, if you have an idea on how it works. And how long you've been doing this, basically.
Tell me.
Mm-hmm.
You're conscious, right?
I would hope so.
How?
I can't answer that because I'm dead, but for some reason I am sapient. I'm able to have free will and be able to speak.
Here we are, in a place that exists but doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
with powers that just do whatever we tell them. And people before us, tons of people before us, who have had all these powers, and eventually it becomes a big game of telephone of, how the fuck did we get here? So it ain't really kept as a book. It ain't kept in a book of how everything happened. It just kind of is here. And honestly, I just kind of just accept that. Ain't much reason to say, to ask why. As he wonders sometimes, but I don't really care. I'm here, I'm gonna have fun.
Yeah. I know that he tends to want as much information as possible, and our relationship never really got to the whole like transactional thing. We just kind of gave each other information and talked. But the only times that you've ever talked about him is like I don't even remember what it was that I was asking you about. It was back at the meat rack, obviously, but I mentioned...
You've asked me so many things, I have no goddamn clue, honey.
I mean, yeah. I remember you teasing me. That's all that I remember. And you told me a bit about
He's all sorts of people. It's just how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you this. The realms are made, and actually this is something that even overseers kind of disagree with from time to time. Technically, an overseer can create a, quote, realm however they see fit. Devils can create their hell however they see fit.
Mm-hmm.
But, if I'm being completely honest, I've never created a realm. I've reset the cycle, but I've never created a realm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
even they've never recreated hell. It's the original ones.
Oh. Well, whoever
It's
created it did a good job. It's beautiful there.
It's almost like an unwritten rule that's been passed down for millennia, for eons, that
It's
we
pretty
just...
much just respect your ancestors' decisions. Trust, because they knew a lot more than what you do now, so it's kind of just trust that they knew what they were doing.
Right.
I guess I could go speak to the original overseer, but he's an interesting fella.
I can't do that with devils. I don't even know who the fuck the original one is.
Huh.
They hide their identity a lot, kind of like I do.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, that's one of the weirdest dichotomies among the Celeste hierarchy is when a devil retires, they just take the form of a typical soul and just go mingle with the others. They don't ever, don't advertise they were the devil of their respected millennials.
He doesn't even do that.
Millennia. Nope. And his former, and his former, and his former never did.
Hmm.
So, realistically, I do happen to know who his former was. He's my brother.
Oh.
And, well, in a weird way, when he was the devil, he told me that when he got done, it was a very short stint. He was actually one of the shortest ran devils ever. He picked him pretty quick, actually. Said, this guy is who I'm going to pick. Actually, hold up, he said something along the lines of like, this motherfucker right here will be the perfect motherfucker to run the hell's thing. Because frankly, I don't want to fuck with this no more. And he just kind of walked off, and we have similar faces, but...
He was a man of adventure. He was an interesting one.
Yeah. He doesn't care who knows he was the devil, but he's one of the only ones I've ever known to be like that. But he still doesn't advertise it.
Mm.
Yeah. It's mainly because of the whole interacting with mortals thing.
Exactly.
You don't really tell anyone the devil, because
they freak the fuck out. Yeah.
Either they don't believe
I couldn't have said it better. That's exactly it. Now, overseers on the other hand, I'm a little guilty of this myself. Now, they like big gold castles and mansions and luxury, or they're very humble. A simple wood hutch. And believe it or not, that's where the original overseer sleeps in. He likes to sleep in a little wood hutch on a beach with a little hammock where he fishes all day.
Oh my
You know,
God,
I have
he's a
heard
grandpa.
one of them was real short. I don't remember exactly what race they were, but they were about like this tall. They lived in like a tiny little dirt hut. It was adorable, but it had like a small door. I couldn't fit in the thing. I was way too big. He was tiny, but it was chill. He just liked sitting down, relaxing, reading a book here and there. He was a pretty chill guy. So there's all sorts of different types of people who run the place.
That's so cool.
Personally, I'm going to be heading to the music section, where I'll be sitting up with the world's greatest and finest musicians. I plan to compose a master orchestra, a beautiful composition piece that will span for 2 years straight.
That sounds wonderful, actually.
It is.
Pray those people have functioning arms after that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best part about the end. You don't feel fatigue, you don't feel pain. Unless you want to feel fatigue or you want to feel pain. I mean, there are a few of the weird ones in the fornication realm and the combat realm that
No more of that. No more of that.
It's weird, yeah. But yeah, some people find the lack of sleep disturbing. So
Yeah.
I
mean,
enjoy sleeping.
There is one thing this one thing I did forget to mention. The dream states. There are those who can, well, you basically have the ability to lucid dream whenever you want.
Oh. Okay.
So some people just go into a realm. I guess that's why my former always called it the Sleepy Village. Where people would always have a nice comfy bed and they could sleep for as long as they wanted and dream from whatever they wanted. It's almost like being able to control your own reality. It's actually quite fascinating. For some, that's a very addicting power.
Nah, I'm not interested in power.
Well, do you have any other question?
Will I be able to... If I call for a soul, could I ask for somebody who's kind of not really a mortal soul?
You mean Azzy?
Well, I wasn't gonna go there, but I was... Yeah.
Did you mean Marcus?
No. Well, Marcus is just really fun company, and you are too. But yeah, I was thinking about Azzy partially. That's why I was being
Sure. Partially. You know there are magics to read minds. You know this, right?
I didn't realize that you were able to do that this entire time. That's really embarrassing.
He's
I
the
can
literal...
make a realm. You think I can't read my... You know what? Continue on. Go ahead.
I'm blanking because now I can't stop thinking about that, and I'm trying not to think.
You're perfectly fine. So to answer your question, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to accept it. It's like getting a phone call.
Mm-hmm. Well,
If they accept it, then... Yes.
Sorry. I just don't know if it would be accepted as all.
Well,
Well,
unfortunately, yeah.
Okay.
If you do feel lonely and want to talk to, well, me, for example,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead. I'm actually quite a big fan of conversation.
That sounds nice.
Also, you won't be alone out there. He's going to snap his fingers. And in that chair, a mirror is going to appear, and you'll see a picture of Ramon.
Oh,
Or a visual of Ramon. Just kind of wandering what looks like a little town. At a bazaar. He's picking up these apples, inspecting them, putting them down. And you see his mother walking next to him. And you also see a woman with blonde hair with gold eyes. Snuggle up on his arm.
oh my god, that's so hard to look at.
Then he snaps his fingers and the mirror goes away. As I said, your comrades who have passed before you aren't there. We can't reveal the secrets of this place existing to mortals because frankly, well, it kind of undoes the rules of morality thing. It's one of those things. People go there regardless. If you're a particularly shitty person, you killed people, raped people, and done horrible things, well,
We have
there's
a
a
specific section for them, but there's some times where they might just get recycled.
yeah, if you are truly a horrible being, and we mean worst of the worst, your soul gets ripped back through what's called the soul stream, and you are recreated. You're broke down from nothing to turn to nothing, and then made from nothing. That's a hard concept to understand, I know, but eventually it makes a new soul.
I was gonna say it kind of sounds
Honestly,
like a...
think of life as like a trial run. See how you do. And then you're if you're good, you get through the pearly gates to paradise. If you're bad, try again.
Try
That ain't that bad. Really, there is no bad ending.
No?
That's nice, actually.
There's a few who just kind of desire a bad ending. It's a weird state, but even then, they can end it at any
Very.
time. As I said, they can turn off their pain receptors, they can turn off anything. So,
They could just go somewhere else.
but quite literally, a shitty person who goes to the end doesn't stay a shitty person. Something about it helps them when you aren't struggling for anything. In fact, they're called mob towns. Mob towns were groups of old gangsters and your more sleazy people literally just role play out day-to-day life as a sleazy gangster. They have guns, they shoot each other, they fight. When they die, they just simply come back under a new name. It's just a big game. Now, mind you,
It's
they
pretty
do
funny,
it.
honestly.
I've kind of thought about going down there and putting on the fedora just to be old. Just to be a Don or something. It's just one of those things. Now, with all this being said, your mother's waiting for you down there. So is your father.
God.
Also, if this next part might be a little hard to understand.
Okay.
All timelines converge. All souls intertwine. So when you get down there, you're actually merging with, well, a bunch of other Atruses. Don't worry. When I say that, that doesn't mean you lose who you are.
No, I don't.
You all simultaneously exist. And you all simultaneously have your own thoughts. It's so we don't have one person meeting another one of the same person, then meeting another one of the same person. It's a safety feature. So the woman you met that was your mother in B, well, when they die, they converge onto A's.
Okay.
Your brothers and sisters, because they are B, they will stay with the B iteration souls. All your A iteration souls stay with A.
I got to meet one of my brothers. Not Ramon, but I mean, like, one of the ones that Mama Cree had. He kind of reminded me a bit of Vex.
I guess he's already picked. Interesting.
No idea.
Vex did say he had somebody in mind. Guess he already made a move.
Already? Wow.
That's the quickest I've ever seen an apprentice picked.
So my
The
brother's
next
gonna
day,
be
it's just,
over-
I'm retiring. Motherfucker, what?
Well, I mean, you were allowed, technically, as a divine, you were allowed to pick your apprentice at any point in your rule, but you still have to at least do 3 cycles before you're allowed to retire. Except for my brother, who was a dickhead and said, "Bah! Here you go, kid." He only did 2. So, did he have the purple eyes with the black iris?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. He did say he was going to do that to the next guy. I really hope he doesn't make that a common theme for the overseers.
I hope not. Because
Well, we'll see.
yeah. But I mean, I'm paranoid as hell. I updated my. Oh God, the past tense is so weird. I updated my basically my will after every mission just in case. So I had a conversation with him and he said that Mama Cree in the universe that I was in didn't know magic, so she's gonna get the books that Azzy gave me and that Vex gave me.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. That's very kind of you.
I figured she should have the opportunity to be able to learn magic, and if she wants to, she can pick that up. And I didn't want Azzy's books to go to waste. I know they're just copies, but, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, and anytime he gives someone books, it's copies.
No, I figured. I don't.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of silly to give the original to somebody.
Well, the
He
originals are
has 2
right.
copies of every book. Always on hand.
That's
It's
awesome.
interesting.
We're just in one wing of the library.
Yeah,
What?
this
Wait,
place is
hold
a hell
on.
of a
This
lot
is only.
bigger.
Oh my god. I wish I could be
You
here
think
all
all
the
of
time.
the existence of knowledge can store in here? Come on.
No,
now.
no. Just
it
I
ain't that
didn't even
small.
think about it because I was talking to you guys. I just. Oh,
And how?
I would love to.
There's
read
about
this.
I think there's about 256 more of these rooms,
Oh my
okay.
god.
and he's only been around for 2 iterations. So yeah, there's a lot he's gotta. He just likes taking notes of everything.
I can relate to that.
Interesting. But the reason I picked him was, I mean, 1, he's smart enough to run fucking everything.
Mhm.
2, He likes observing, just like me. So I know he won't intervene with everything. He'd rather just watch it play out and go on. So he won't cause a whole ruckus with. He's allowed to interfere with interact with immortals, but he's not gonna just run around messing everything up. So.
No, I've never known
Also,
him to be like
he
that.
keeps track of everything. So a lot of the problems with kind of stories being told and turning into a game of telephone. Well, now we got this place. We don't gotta worry about that no more.
Yeah, instead of it being word of mouth, it's actually documented. That's really nice.
That's right. Yeah. Honestly, he deserves it. He's worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't deserve it quite yet. Got
Not
a
yet?
little bit more work to do.
Yeah.
Not yet. Plus, I'm
So?
not quite done. I got a little bit to wrap up myself.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Well,
grateful that I got to talk with you guys and you explained some things to me. Obviously not everything.
Oh.
That would take eons.
yes, but eons I have.
Yeah.
We can
But
always
I'm-
chat in the end.
Yeah.
That's right.
When we're available, that is. He'll be available a lot more than me.
Yeah. Are you
I'm still the devil. I got work to do.
yeah.
I got a whole
Apparently
universe
a
to
part-time
run,
job at
so...
a bartending job.
Yeah, well, that's my little relaxation place.
That's relaxation. I can see that.
Yeah.
There we are.
Oh.
What was this one you grabbed?
This one is the book of your life.
Sorry? So fucking stupid.
This ain't in English or demonic. What in the... What is he writing in now?
I don't know.
It,
Oh, you know,
Here's-
it translates. That's why. That's why.
this is
Weird.
actually written in.
Wait, hold on. Does that mean that I get to learn the demonic language now? Because I never got the chance to. You showed me it
You
once
can-
before, but I wanted
You
to
have
learn
nothing
it.
but time.
Maybe you can learn it in the end.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course you can learn every language. Although, it's a little not as important because in the end, pretty much everyone you speak to, for instance, if you speak to me and I only know Draconic, but you know English,
Mm.
I will hear Draconic, and when I speak to you, you will hear English.
Huh.
Like, oh.
The Babylonian curse doesn't exist in, well, the end. That would be dumb.
I still want to learn it.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're
Doesn't
still
suck.
able to.
Okay.
People can still speak in their native language to one another. Well,
What was that?
A game. Don't worry about it.
CPU.
That ain't actually there.
So, this book is my life?
Yes. Every word you ever said, everything you ever seen, thoughts, it's all recorded.
Don't look at it.
It's fine. I've seen far more depraved things. And
No, that's not what I mean. It's just embarrassing. And sad.
Yeah, well.
That's crazy. I hated that.
Sit that back in there. Alright. Well, I suppose
Wait, what?
that's the end of our tea party.
Oh, okay.
Unless there's anything else you want to talk about? Or question why he's got a telescope in a room with no stars.
You know, I've always wondered that.
Maybe it's just a storage. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Honestly,
He's got some strange stuff over here. I wouldn't snoop around though, because he probably wouldn't like that.
Hmm. No, I wouldn't want to. This is enough to snoop around with, but kind of.
Yeah.
Does he have one on everybody?
Just everyone in the party.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah. And if everyone's important.
Or well, I say party, but pretty much everything that Izzy deems as a person who's worth noting.
Yeah. Obviously, you can't note everyone. There's too many people for that, but...
Yeah.
Important figures, people who've done stuff in life. Changed things, changed history, or anything like that.
Oh.
Believe it or not, all the books, the ones on the very top, were, I guess, your group from 2-3 cycles ago.
Oh.
This is not the first time y'all have, well, existed.
No, I figured, but it surprises me that we would be in the same group doing probably the same thing.
Actually, y'all are quite different in a few iterations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different looks, different personalities.
Believe it or not, y'all were a fantasy guild in iteration 7.
Ah!
Iteration 1, you were a bunch of street thugs in a cyberpunk city. Iteration 9, you were a bunch of vampire hunters, and iteration 10, you were a bunch of vampires.
God, what iteration are we in now? I don't remember.
278.
This really feels like the good
Dear
place.
Lord, alright.
You can see why I retired. I only have to be an overseer for 10 iterations. And Devils
Didn't you say
really
3?
only have... I did.
Never mind.
Devils are 3, overseer 10. Mainly because of your...
that's okay.
It's annoying. It's a longer job, for sure. But it's weird, when Devils tend to, well, roll out even longer than the overseers. I've only seen one
It happens.
close up in there for a year. Anyway,
Oh, there you are.
I hope you enjoy your time in the end.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice place. You'll like it.
I trust that.
Glad Lily, because it has everything.
Well, I'm still gonna work. I'm probably not gonna rest for very much. I like keeping busy.
You'll have plenty of rest. You have plenty of time.
Yeah.
There ain't no deadlines, really. Unless you make deadlines.
Make
If you
goals.
want to work.
As I said, some humans require... Oh, there is one of my personal favorite realms. The realm of RP. Role-playing. Basically like the Mafia plan, but these people just go off in their own little groups and say, we're going to act out this lifestyle for whatever the game is. And they just go on till they, quote, die in character.
That sounds
It's quite
absurd.
lovely. It is. It's,
Why
I'll be
would
honest with
anybody
you.
fun,
want
though.
to die for fun? Like, it's so
Well,
fun. Well,
for some, they don't actually die. As I said, you can turn off your pain receptors, so
yeah.
they can pretty much live whatever experience they want. Some people like the drama and the darker side of existence. So they tend to, well, they tend to make it up for themselves. I'll admit, a lot of the Everrings do call them nerds and losers and cringe. But not me. I think there's a beauty in it.
Maybe. Maybe I'll try it someday, but right now I just kind of want to learn about things and
Of course.
Yeah.
keep my hands busy.
Well, I'll be seeing you out there.
You have a good retirement. And I'll see you later, I guess. Maybe. We'll see. At some point.
I'd like to.
We have
see
all the
that.
time in the world.
Yeah. Thank you for keeping me company, and thank you for taking me to
Alright.
this place.
Now we should probably leave before Isaac gets back and yells at us for being in here.
Oh, yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah, that'll clean itself up. Anyway. why the fuck does he have a chess table here with no one to play chess with? He doesn't let anyone in here. Anyone.
I think it's mainly because he likes to play chess against himself.
I do that sometimes.
But I'll let you know.
Now that is a thing a nerd does.
Well, here's something I personally enjoy.
Ah, yes, his collection of pens.
Shh, don't tell Lazzy about this.
Collection?
Yep. Look.
He's a nerd.
Yeah, he uses each and every one of them.
Oh my god. I've never seen him with a pen.
Yeah.
He's always just kind of like crossing his arms and being mysterious and Batmaning everywhere. He's literally disappeared
he has
behind
two
me.
ways of writing. One is with a pen,
Mm-hmm.
but the other... How the hell do you... I see. The other one is just thinking, and then it goes on the book. Some fancy magic he developed to do it. Literally no one else knows how to do it. I don't know how the fuck he managed to make a book that kind of just keeps track of what he's thinking, but he did, and I mean, hats off to him, I guess.
That's really cool. You blipped for a second.
Well, I know, I clicked the wrong button. Anyway, I make sure he doesn't realize we're gone, or we were here. Alright. Once you head through that door, you'll, well, head off to the end.
Okay. Thank you.
See you later.